Good day. I am Aditya Goyal, IRM 2016-003, and this is the video presentation for my integrated research project of the distributed system course on community detection in large graphs. I'll start off with a briefing on the project, talking about our progress, how we have incorporated distributed computing in the project. Secondly, I will go over the Gisborne-Newman algorithm and then the main theme of our project, the compacting large and loose communities algorithm, in which I will provide a holistic understanding of the algorithm, the community formations, and the evaluation criteria. Then I discuss the intricacies of the Spark implementation of finding large communities, on how we have been using a cluster of nodes to parallelize and distribute the entire computation. It will also be accompanied by the code we have written and the explanation on the working. I'll also explain how we have put together the entire algorithm in Spark. We'll wind up with a live running example of the algorithm on a small graph showing the computations, the communities generated along with all the parameters that we'll be discussing in the near future. I'll conclude the presentation by talking about the future prospects of the project and a couple of additional algorithms which we have also implemented. Okay, so a brief overview. In our project proposal that we had submitted, we had planned to identify several research papers related to Gisborne-Newman and then start with some naive implementation and parallelism approaches. In the next phase, we would start integrating technologies like Hadoop, Spark, etc. to have a distributed setup for our algorithm and then implement a state-of-the-art algorithm instead of the elementary Gisborne-Newman algorithm, which has become very old now. We are happy that we did in fact complete all the planned phases and then some more. We have a working system which implements the algorithm for detecting the best communities in a graph. We'll be using the word community extensively as our project revolves around it. One can think of a community as a set of fully interconnected nodes in a graph with the edge weights between the nodes determining the strength of the connection between those two nodes. Now we'll discuss the algorithm that we have been working on during the course of the project. We selected community detection for our project since it has applications in many domains such as biology, social networking, web mining, etc. Detecting compact overlapping communities in large networks is an important pattern recognition problem with application in a lot of domains. The pioneering work in community detection was first published by Gisborne-Newman, in which they gave a technique for detecting and analyzing the community structure depending upon the iterative elimination of edges with the highest number of the shortest paths that pass through them. By getting rid of these edges, the network or the graph breaks down into smaller communities. So the Gisborne-Newman algorithm, although it is not directly used anymore, it is the heart of more or less every community detection algorithm that we have right now. So now I move on to compacting large and loose communities, which is an excellent work on reducing the size of communities in the graph. This is also the main algorithm of a project. So the most community detection algorithms strive to strike a balance between community size and their compactness. Oversized communities might contain unnecessary noise, while undersized communities might not generalize the concept well enough. To tackle this problem of low signal to noise ratio in the community, we first propose a natural measure of the quality of community called coherence, defined in the terms of node weights of the network. Coherence is used to determine whether a community is compact, and if it is not compact enough, then it is greedily partitioned into smaller communities until the subcommunities are compact. also we need to conceptualize the importance of each node in a community. It would be ideal to have only highly correlated nodes as part of a compact community and the rest of the elements removed since they mainly contribute towards noise as they are not correlated enough. This intuition is captured this intuition is captured by our node importance measure, which we are calling the LNC or the local node centrality. According to the local node centrality, uh, a node is central to any community if it is strongly connected to all other central nodes in the community. Node centrality is a very well known concept in graph theory for capturing the importance of a node in graphs. This calculation of importance of a node is best captured by the eigenvector centrality, and we'll be calling this measure the LNC from here onwards. We would call a community coherent if each of its nodes belong with all the other nodes in the community. In other words, coherence is high if every node of the community has a high belongingness score. All the elements of the community are associated to each other and highly correlated. So, in a nutshell, we want to calculate the local node centrality of each node in a community and then determine if the node belongs there or not. We would like to add more nodes into the community if it increases the coherence and throw away all the nodes which do not contribute enough. That is, they are not highly correlated with all the other elements of the communities. Formally, we can call these phases the growth phase and the shrink phase, where we add and remove the nodes to include where we add and remove nodes to increase the coherence score of every community. I hope this provides a basic and holistic understanding of the working of the algorithm. I've tried not to go in details as it is not the main intention of this project. We would instead like to discuss the implementation on how we have used Spark for distributed computation of this algorithm. So now I would like to move on to the implementation code and the distributed approach for dealing with large graphs portion. We want to use our algorithm for huge graphs where the number of edges reach as high as 10 billion and even more. For the running example that I will be showing after this, though, we will choose a smaller graph with only 10 to the power 4 edges. We begin with initialization of a Spark session where we have two cores of 10 GB of RAM each. We have chosen this as later we would like to create a Spark broadcast variable, which I'll discuss next. So, going over the code, first I try to gather the Spark session that I have just created, and then we are going to read the graph into a Spark data frame along with all the metadata using Spark read load function. Now we can use this variable for all the distributed computations later on. Our next step in the pre-processing is to create this data frame into an adjacency list, to convert it into an adjacency list. This adjacency list would be a key value pair. So for doing this, we are going to use Spark SQL functions such as union all, group by, aggregate, etc., and create a key value pair. Once we have converted the data frame using the key value pair, we want to use it for all further computations later on. So the best way to do is to create a broadcast variable. A Spark broadcast variable will allow us to keep a read-only copy of the variable on each machine. Okay, so if I'm creating a Spark broadcast variable, it allows me to keep a copy of this variable, a read-only copy of this variable on each and every machine, rather than shipping a copy of it with each and every task. They can be used to give every node of the cluster, of Spark cluster, a copy of the large input data set in a very efficient manner, thus being great tool for us. Now we want to begin with our main community detection algorithm. Since we have a lot of tasks, we have written a data frame row parallelizer method. In this method, we can input all the functions that we require, such as calculating the local node centrality of every node of the community, the coherence of each community, removing all the nodes with low LNC to increase the coherence, and identifying the neighboring nodes of a community, which can then be added to the community to increase the coherence in the growth phase of our algorithm. Since the calculations need to be carried out for each community, we can parallelize the algorithm over all the communities, which would greatly reduce the computation time. In our community detection stage, first we do this by writing all the necessary functions that we have, such as LNC, coherence, grossing, etc., for a single community, and then push it through the Spark data frame row parallelizer function that I mentioned about. The function parallelizes all these tasks over all the communities. The flow of our algorithm is as follows. First, we identify the nodes as AID, PID, and find their neighbors, and then calculate the subgraphs and identify their neighbors. We add a few random nodes initially, which will then become our seed community, finding the subgraphs, the neighbors, and forming the seed communities. Okay, so then we calculate the LNC and coherence, the measures I had previously discussed, and expand the community by identifying the nodes which have high coherence scores overall. Since our goal is to attain maximum coherence for a community, we would also like to get rid of all the non-highly correlated noisy nodes, which we can do in the shrink phase. So once we have calculated the local node centralities, the coherence, we can move over towards finding the best growth candidate and the best shrink candidates. We add these candidates into the communities and check whether the coherence of the communities increase or not when we do so. So in checking if the best coherence is better than the original coherence after each grow and shrink phase, we can evaluate whether we want to add or remove a particular node from the communities. Using Spark, we are simultaneously able to do all of these computations for each and every community that we have identified initially. There are close to 10,000 overlapping communities even in our small example. Although we would later discard most of these communities since their coherence score is low, the parallelism introduced via Spark reduces the time to compute all of them by a very huge margin. Okay, so now I would like to show you a small running example of this, of all of this code. So here I have my IPython notebook, and I would like to show the example. I start with creating this Spark instance. As I had mentioned before, 2 cores with 10 gigs of memory, RAM each. And here I am initializing the stitch pipeline. Stitch pipeline essentially creates a DAG, or a directed acyclic graph, for the execution of our algorithm. The DF parallelizer stage which I had mentioned, is initialized through this and is looped over until I find the best communities, or which can be identified when the coherence score of each community is not increasing. So I I'll run this cell and uh, I initialize the stitch pipeline, and I have the community to graph JSON file which tells the pipeline whatever to do. Okay, and the pipeline is initialized here. Okay, so in the pipeline itself, I have given the graph in the read stage. I have already created a affinity graph, which is the graph needed for all of this computation. And Here I will be using that graph to calculate all the communities. So I'll execute the entire community detection stage from this. And here you can see that first, the step will be to create the adjacency list. Then it would go over towards calculating all the subgraphs and identifying communities, calculate the local node centrality and the coherence of each community, identify the best growth and shrink candidates, and check whether the coherence score increases with those steps, and loop over it several times until we get a set of good communities. Okay, so here all of the stages, since our graph is really small and we have a lot of memory, all the execution was pretty fast. And here we have all the communities generated. I'll just do an aggregate and select the all the nodes, the coherence and the LNCs from the final data frame that we have. And once this executes, and now I am able to see all the communities that have been generated. This is the list of all the nodes which are in the community, their respective coherence scores, and the local node centrality of each and every node in a particular community is stored in the data structure. And if I want to just plot how many communities how many communities have been generated along with their coherence scores, I'll use this function that I've written here, and it will give me a plot with the x-axis as the coherence score and the y-axis as the frequency of how many communities I have. The coherence scores on the x-axis and the frequency of those communities with that particular coherence score on the y-axis. So here you can see. So now with this, I would now like to conclude my presentation at this point. This wraps up our course project on detecting communities in large graphs using a distributed approach. I hope I have satisfactorily explained the aspects of our integrated project, and I'm looking forward to hearing back from you regarding the feedback on our project and the Viva. So this is Aditya Goyal, IRM 2016-003, and Ankit Kumar, IRM 2016-002. We would like to thank you very much for your time and looking forward to hearing back from you. Thank you.